Hey everybody, it is so good to see you here for this live event. If you don't mind, as you show up, please go ahead and pop into the chat with your name or your location, because just say hello to us, because not only does it make that fun and give us the opportunity to get to know each other, it also makes you eligible for the giveaways that we have coming up in just a little bit. So in case you didn't know, 6 years ago, Women in Apologetics got started with a dream consisting of 3 E's: educating, equipping, and encouraging Christian women everywhere to add the study of apologetics and worldview to their personal discipleship. Most of our husbands see the same people in their workplaces day after day, but us women, even those of us who work outside the home, we still have occasions to see all kinds of people within the scope of our everyday lives. We talk to teachers and administrators every day. We talk to bankers and caterers and dry cleaners, store owners, sports moms, PTA members, and our pediatricians. And keep in mind that when Jesus revealed himself to the woman at the well, that he was indeed Messiah, not only did she accept his message, but she took it immediately to the people around her. And so should we. As women, we should take advantage of the natural audiences with whom we come into contact every single day for the good of the world and the glory of God. And when she did that, they came to investigate Jesus for themselves because they had a supernatural worldview, which made Jesus worth investigating. But when you and I take Jesus to the world outside, our audiences have a natural worldview. And they may not be interested at all. In fact, they may be resistant, which is why women need to be interested in apologetics in the first place. And it's why you and I need the ministry of Women in Apologetics. And so I am so glad that you are here today for our 6th anniversary celebration of Women in Apologetics. Now, we are going to have 3 giveaways during this event, and all you have to do to be eligible for those giveaways is show up in the chat. So be sure to ask questions and make comments because those are coming up, and those giveaways are access to our replays of our past conferences. So it will be like an apologetics curriculum in a nutshell, and you'll get to pick which conference replays you'd like to see. So if you have one, you can pick a different one. If you don't have any, you can just throw a dart at a dartboard, and any of the conferences that you pick are going to have a whole host of keynote speakers and breakout speakers that are sure to be a blessing to you, all of which are going to introduce you or teach you or further you in your apologetics education. But most importantly, today, we want you to be involved with what we are doing here as a ministry. So take the time to follow us on social. We are on Instagram at Women in Apologetics. We're on Facebook at Women in Apologetics. And of course, on YouTube, where we have our monthly episodes of Voices of WIA. You can also join us there each month for Voices of WIA, where we interview other apologists, other female apologists. You can take our Islam Foundations course. That's another way you can be involved with us. Right now, given the geopolitical events of our day, that would be a really great opportunity to learn a little bit more about what we can add to those conversations. You can also gain access to our conference replays anytime at our website on our shop. And you can become a monthly donor, which really helps us a lot as far as planning is concerned. And becoming a monthly donor is kind of our goal today, for you to be involved with us and join what we are now calling the Apologetics Collective. We really want to work with the women who are involved in our ministry and committed to our ministry to teach them and serve them and answer their questions and be a resource for them. You could also, if potentially your finances are not available right now for monthly donorships, please consider becoming a volunteer. We are entirely a volunteer-driven ministry. So you can just roll up your sleeves and be part of our team, and we would love to have you. So consider that all of those ways are ways that you can get involved with us today in this event. And so now it's time to meet our team members so you can see what it's like to be a WIA volunteer. So first up, our first team member that we're going to talk to today is Ivania Manassa with our communications department. So please welcome Ivania. Hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, so Ivania, tell us, in your opinion, what is the most important work that WIA does, first of all, and what do you hope WIA will achieve in the future?
One of my favorite things that WIA does that I enjoy in my own life is doing the book bites and the book reviews. And one of the reasons I like that is what WIA is so great at is recognizing that, women, I think one of our biggest challenges is time. And so knowing sometimes that there's a great book out there, maybe I want to read a book, maybe I've heard about a book, but I don't necessarily have the time to read it through and analyze it. It's a great kind of step that WIA takes for me to take a look at the books that are out there right now, summarize it, and that helps me understand, is that a book I want to spend more time in? Or maybe just have a general idea. Maybe I'll get to it, put it on my to read later list.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things that WIA does, is just as a team sharing our knowledge and analysis with each other.
Has there been a specific book that you can recall that you learned about, or maybe were reawakened to from the book bites that you, so then you went and got a copy and it helped you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I know that WIA introduced me to the book Them Before Us by Katie Frost. I'm not 100% sure if it was a book bite or a review, but I know it was through WIA, and definitely put it in my pile of things to read. And sure enough, then I heard about it at church, and then I heard about it through another group that I'm involved with. And I just thought, boy, I keep hearing about this book. What exactly was that about? So I can look that up, and it's great to be able to. So then that is definitely the next book for me. So I downloaded Them Before Us. Another one was a great book by Alyssa Childers. What is that? Maybe I'm not even saying her name right. What is it called? Live Your Truth and Other Lies.
Yes, that's her newest one. Yeah, that was good.
That was great. And when I read the review and the book bite about it, I thought, that's just what I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah. Very timely. And I don't know about you, it's probably true for you too, I suspect, because WIA is such a well-read group of women. Do you find that your book reading list is getting longer and longer and longer?
Taller. The stack on my nightstand just kind of builds.
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Amazon loves me since I've become an apologist and have gotten involved with women in apologetics. They send me little badges and little notices all the time that I've read, X many books in a month or whatever. So that's been really fun to see happen as a result of being in this group.
Yes, definitely has increased my reading goals.
For sure. It always will, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so how has serving with WIA helped in your own personal walk with the Lord?
Yeah, well, I think something that WIA does really well that speaks to me personally is I'll have a vague notion just from my own devotions, my own scripture time. I'll have an inclination. Something seems right. Something seems wrong. And I think what WIA has helped me with is to be encouraged that there is a specificity available behind that Holy Spirit nudge. And having an understanding of that specificity, we're able to defend our position and the biblical position. Sure. So it's really encouraged me to dig deeper into the things that I naturally have a hesitation about. One of the things I was reading was recently, thoughts about the Enneagram. And as I was reading through it, I was able to communicate with some of the other WIA team members. And I remember I said, well, this really explains why I always thought this was creepy. It takes me from, that seems creepy, I wonder why, to, there is a reason. Let's find out. There is a detailed, understood reason, and I can have a very detailed
Yeah.
Fact-oriented argument.
I have found that too. I have found that there is a difference between just knowing something is true or having it, like you said, having a vague intuition or inclination that something's true or false, and actually having the skill to be able to connect the dots as to why. And that's been a real blessing for me and for apologetics in general, but especially with this WIA group, because there's so many people and they're so interested in so many different things. You learn a lot about different aspects of our faith and about apologetics just from listening to everybody's interests.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Avanya, for being available to be interviewed and let us know what your experience with WIA is. And I think you would agree that it has been, I know it has been for me, a really enriching experience, not only to have the conversations and the substance, but just the fellowship as well with all these women who are so well read and so committed to knowing why they believe what they believe.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. And I want to remind our audience that there's lots of ways that you can give today. We are trying to work on our year-end goal of raising part of the funds that we need for next year. And so we have lots of options for you. The National Christian Foundation is a great place for you to donate. You can do a one-time, a recurrent donation, or even a complex gift. You can give through them. You can also give with PayPal, even if you don't have an account with them. If you do have an account, you can give a monthly recurrent gift to us each month, or without a PayPal, you can still give a one-time gift. And then Facebook also is set up to do a one-time or recurrent gift. Or you can send a check or cash to the address on your screen. So please consider joining us, because when you do, when you give to Women in Apologetics, you join what we are now calling the Apologetics Collective. We are so much better. We learn so much faster when we learn together. And so we are planning on creating a community of people, starting with our monthly donors, where we can really educate and equip and encourage you at a personal level. Because if you're going to be committed to us as a ministry, we are going to be committed to you as sisters in Christ, helping you grow, helping you learn, and helping you have these conversations for yourself, for your family, and for your friends and family members and community members with whom you have just do business every day. So we are going to also keep you updated today as we go along about real-time updates in the advancement that we're making toward our goal, how far we've gotten so far. So far, we've raised about $2,000 for our goals next year. So this is really such a helpful time for us. Anything that you'd be willing to give to us, to contribute to that goal, will go a really, really long way in helping us. Did you know that we do approximately 385 social media posts a year at an average cost of about $25, which over the course of a year amounts to $9,500. So just by trying to stay in contact with you on social media, it racks up quite a bill. So you will help us continue educational and substantive posts with real depth in Christian theology and worldview and apologetics by helping us out. So, okay, so with that, we're going to move on to our interview number 2 with Michelle Marsili, and she is part of our education department. So she's going to come on and tell us a little bit about that. Welcome, Michelle, to our fundraiser event.
Well, hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for showing up here today. We so appreciate it. I'm anxious to hear all that you have to say about our event today. How long have you been a volunteer with WIA? What made you want to serve, and what do you enjoy most about serving?
So I joined almost 2 years ago in January 2022, and I just love this team. I kind of had the volunteer page open on my computer for like a month and a half, and then finally decided, hey, God is prompting me to join, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Just being involved with so many other women who are so knowledgeable and so passionate and excited to help educate women in strong theology, to help them be able to better defend their faith. And the encouragement is overwhelming, not just online, but even just amongst volunteers as we all go through different seasons of life, or as people go back to school. It's been such a blessing. I can't rave enough about the women who are involved in this.
Aren't they great? It has been a blessing to me too, really. It has been a blessing. Okay, Michelle, would you like to help me right now
Absolutely.
with one of the giveaways, our very first giveaway. So we have a whole stash of sessions that we have done from our conferences in the past. And so if you're in the chat, you're eligible for the giveaway, and all you have to do is show up in the chat and with the moderators, and they let them know that you're the winner, let them know who you are, just show up there. And our moderators will get you the email so that you can email us which set of sessions you'd like to have. So there are 4 there, and they'll give you the link to the shop so you can pick that out, and we'll get that to you. So for right now, our giveaway winner is Violet from YouTube. Violet 2819 from YouTube. If you will hop in the chat right now and talk to the moderators, they will send you the email address so that you can email them and let them know. You can choose, you can take a look at which ones are available to you, and then you can choose which one you want. So congratulations, Violet, for our first giveaway winner of a set of conference replays and access to those conference replays. And I have to tell you, our conferences are awesome. It's some of the most interesting material. They're great speakers, great breakout sessions. You're going to benefit from that. So, okay, Michelle, back to our interview together. How has, first of all, what do you enjoy most about serving with WIA? Is there something that stands out to you?
I think what I enjoy most is that every time I get on a team chat or a call, I am continually learning just from all of the different women. And as you mentioned, everyone is so well read. And I think I'm probably about 30 books behind on what I've bought from just all the conversations. And I absolutely love that. I love just being able to have those deep theology conversations with like-minded women. And it's, like I said, it's just such a blessing.
It is a blessing. It's not something that you can necessarily have with just anybody.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets it. Do you find that sometimes when you try to have a conversation, they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about?
Or when you get like crazy excited about some like logic proof or apologetics, and
Yes.
it's so great because then you join these calls and then everyone's right there with you with that energy and that excitement. And it's just fun. It's just such a blast. And so I really love that, and I love being challenged on other things to read and other ways to think about something, and ways to just better articulate the truth that God has revealed to us.
Yeah, that's a really good word, because like I said, like Avanya and I were talking about, it's one thing to kind of have an idea that something is true or false, but to be able to connect those dots and articulate is a perfect word to use for that, to articulate those differences. I think it helps us in our confidence. And I don't know about you, you can let me know what you think about this, but I think for me, as I have grown in my ability to do that, it actually almost, it anchors my faith in the concept of truth. So this is not just a story we're being told or a legend we're hearing about. This is truth. And that gives us confidence to grow and pursue the Lord more deeply, as well as to speak about him more courageously and confidently.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think confidence is the perfect word. Being able to just sit in that truth, and, yes, faith is the necessity, but to just also get to see a little bit of the logic in association with it strengthens my confidence. And then I think makes it easier for us to go and spread the good news, because you're less intimidated when someone asks that follow-up question, because you know how to explain it now.
Yeah. And even if you don't, I wonder what you would think about this too. Even if you don't know the answer to that question, I know for a lot of people, they get a little bit stumbled by the idea that if I don't know their question, the answer to the question, there might not be one. And once you've been around this block enough times, you realize, well, I may not know the answer, but there's one out there, and we'll just go find it.
That's exactly what I say. That's why I'm never like worried anymore. Because I'm like, well, if I didn't think to ask that question, I know a great resource I can go to begin the research. But yeah, I'm fully confident that there is an answer, and that, I kind of know where to go to look now. And that, I think, empowers those conversations, because then you're like, hey, why don't we figure it out together? So it's great.
Yeah, I agree. I love it. Okay, so can you tell us then, would you let the audience know and kind of describe what it's like? How has serving with WIA helped your own personal walk with the Lord? Is there specific incidences or things that you think of that you have that you've experienced yourself, where you've seen your faith in him and your personal relationship grow?
Yeah, definitely. Serving on the education team and getting to help, put curriculum together and things like that, it has really helped me dive deeper into, what do I believe? Some of those big questions where it's like, we were saying before, this feels a little weird, or I think this is true. And being able to really just dive into that, do the research, have the conversations has strengthened me and the way that I teach at my church in apologetics. And this has helped me to really think through, God, what are you revealing to me here? And what is the best way to communicate it, right? Because you can communicate something that's true and it can be, very poorly communicated, or it can be communicated in a way that opens it up for additional conversation. And I think this team and just the compassion that they have for the truth and the way that they share it has really helped me grow. And then just sit back and just kind of see, wow, God, look at everything you're doing, just the little bit that I can see. It's overwhelming to see how he is moving through this group.
Yes, I agree. I've been really blessed by this group as well. Can you tell me a little bit about, have you noticed anything? It just came to me, just kind of winging it for a second.
Yeah.
Have you noticed at your church that you're able to chime into conversations and other people are saying, Michelle, where did you learn that? Where did you get that? Has that happened by any chance?
Yes, actually, I'm laughing because I feel like you may have just been at this past Sunday. Yes, God is really helping me step into those conversations, or just people, I think, they kind of see what I'm doing, and, we get into the conversations because they're like, hey, I was talking to someone about this, and either I do have an answer, I go, I don't know, but here's a resource, we can discuss it. And it's helped me even better serve at my local church because of this. And that's been so rewarding to just get more involved with community, both the wonderful online community of WIA and then my community right here at home. So it's been amazing.
Isn't that so great? I find that too, that the people will sometimes say, where did you come up with that? Or how did you find that? Or, and it's so nice to be able to point, first of all, to a group of women apologists, where we're all interested in the same things, and we're all women, and communicating to women and from women by women about apologetics. And it's just such a refreshing change of pace, really, because we have such similar concerns about our kids, about the next generation, about our friends and family members who are unsaved. So it's been a blessing to me too. I've really enjoyed that. It's kind of a unique resource, this group of ladies is.
Absolutely. I think that's the great thing, is that, when you hear it and you kind of see it from the concerns that women have at the forefront, the family and the kids, not that men don't, but with that specific focus, it's been very meaningful. And it's allowed me to point more people at my church towards WIA and resources that have helped them. And so, it's been a wonderful experience thus far. I look forward to the future with it.
That's so good. Has there been a specific area of your educational department? Is there like a specific course or workshop or topic covered in our education department that has really blessed you, being able to kind of be up close and personal with it?
So we've got some short courses that we're working on, and I've been involved in helping write the curriculum for one of those, and those conversations as we're putting things together. And that has been incredible, and it's been challenging, but it's been rewarding to just think through those things, and then getting to speak with, the other curriculum developers, and watch our Islam foundations, and just to be a part of that. Has been encouraging, and encourages me to raise the bar, because I want to be able to help communicate truth that well also. So those conversations with the curriculum developers, as we're brainstorming and as we're figuring out ways to best articulate information, I love those meetings.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm sure those are great. I'm sure those are really good content heavy conversations.
Yes. Heavy theology, which is so much fun, though, especially to just have a bunch of women together talking deep theology. It's great.
Yeah, that is so nice. It's so good. And I have found that just the more we do that, the more we think deeply about the things of God, the more it just changes us on the inside. It awakens us to the right things, and it helps us resist the wrong things, and it helps us just put things in perspective in a much deeper level, I think.
Oh, definitely. It's been so illuminating to me, and just a joy. Even though there's a lot of work, there's just so much joy with it, and that's what is so encouraging.
Sure, it's so encouraging to just be part of this group. I agree. Well, Michelle, thank you. I really appreciate you taking your time out today to talk with us about all this and about your role that you play in Women in Apologetics. And I'm so glad that you're having a good experience and that you're happy to be here, and encouraging others to join us in WIA as well, both with their finances potentially, and also with their time and talents too, just being a part of the group. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, I just want to remind you one more time, there's lots and lots of ways that you can give to be a part of Women in Apologetics to help move us down the road toward our future projects and the things that we are attempting to do, to help us grow, to help us honor the Lord with the best of our time, talent, and resources. There are several ways that you can be a part of that. You can be a key partner, which we are now calling, or will be calling, the Apologetics Collective. If you would pledge any monthly gift of any amount, that allows you to be part of our Apologetics Collective. You can also do a one-time gift of any amount. That also allows you to be a part of our group of donors. And if you manage to give a one-time or a monthly gift over $500, that classifies you as an ambassador in our group of women, of apologetics women, apologetic-minded women. So those are lots of different ways that you can help us. We would love to have you. Like Michelle said, this is such a deep, abiding group of women who love the Lord and love theology and love to learn and to love God with all of their minds. And it's a really fun place to be when you get in those conversations and those kinds of things. So remember that you can give through National Christian Foundation, one time or a recurrent gift, or even a complex gift of like stocks or those sorts of things, foundations and endowments and that sort of thing. Also through PayPal. I know most all of us know what PayPal is. If you do have an account with PayPal, you can be a recurrent donor. And without a PayPal account, you can still be a one-time giver. And then on Facebook, even on our Facebook page, we're running a fundraiser. There's a donate button. So you can do one-time or recurrent donations. You can also go to our website and give as well. And when you do, like I said before, like we've been talking about, you become a part of the Apologetics Collective. We so desire to equip you with the skills that you need to articulate, like Michelle said, to articulate the truths of the Christian worldview, especially right now when it is so needed, when there's just so much secularism and so much suspicion surrounding Christianity. There's so many hurdles to have to overcome in order to help someone see the truth of Christ and the reality of Christ, his existence, his goodness, his character, that we love helping you go through those so that you can be an effective ambassador for the kingdom just through learning the ins and outs of the truth of the Christian worldview and being able to communicate that well and confidently. If we have any updates on our giving so far, remember that we are trying to work toward, in this last quarter of 2023, we're just trying to work toward our budget in 2024. So you would really help us move down the road quite a bit in being able to give you continual content, classes, workshops, social media posts, book bites that Avanya was talking about, so that you can find the resources that you need to develop your ability to speak the truth of the Christian worldview around you. Because some people have, new people in the New Age around them, or atheists around them. You might even find yourself in a community of Mormons or Jehovah's Witness, and we need different tools depending on who it is God has entrusted to us. And Women in Apologetics wants to be that resource for you, to help you go straight to the tools that you need, find the resources, the books, the lectures, the conversations with other women, so that you can be confident and effective in sharing the truth of the Christian worldview with other people. So thank you so much for being here today and being a part. And so we have another giveaway. So like we've mentioned before, we have several different conferences in the past, all of which have a whole package of keynote presentations, of breakout presentations. We've been around for 6 years, and we love a good conference. We love to see women together. We love for women to worship together and love the Lord with their minds together. And so we have several different conferences, all of which have its own unique emphasis, its own kind of topic per se. And that's going to be our next giveaway for giveaway number 2. All you have to do is show up in the chat when your name is announced and get with our moderators, and they will give you the email address that you can talk to, that you can send your choice to. You'll be able to go to our shop and kind of look and see which one you might want. And so our second giveaway winner from the chat is Harmony Wheeler on YouTube. So Harmony, if you will just pop your head up in the chat, say hello to our moderators, find that information. They will give you the links so that you can go take a look and see what you might want, and pick your own set of replays to which you can get access to. We would love for you to get started, on those, and joining us as an Apologetics as well. And so anyhow, now we are on to our next guest is with our events department, and her name is Nikki Still. So Nikki, if you'll come on out, and hi Nikki, and we'll get started our interview today. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. It's good to see you here today. Seems like I haven't talked to you in forever, and I know that's not true, but so good to see you here today. So why don't you tell us, in your opinion, what you think is the most important work that WIA is doing right now?
You know, it's funny because I've heard the others speaking so far, and they've kind of hinted at or said similar to what my answer to this question would be. I actually have two things specifically, and one of them is from a personal perspective. It's what the public doesn't see. It's the interaction with each other. It's when we're planning or communicating with each other, it's the interaction and community that is built. I think that is very important in order to make the ministry happen well together. We has never intended to take the place of a local congregation or faith community or anything like that. But these ladies have served as that during a time when we didn't have a stable church community in our lives. And over the last 2 years since I've started serving, our family has faced some very difficult challenges. And this community of volunteers and staff have stood in the gap for me through prayer and support, and those things, I believe those things have been key to even making ministry happen publicly, because we have such a great community behind the scenes. So that would be the first thing, and then the second thing I believe is that as you've already mentioned, that there's these three pillars to this ministry: to educate, equip, and encourage women in Christian apologetics. Every department contributes to that focus, so that WIA kind of becomes the resource of resources for growth in apologetics to women. Not only do we produce a lot of our own material, but we also introduce others to outside resources. So all of that leads to incredible spiritual growth, because you're able to grow deeper about learning what and why you believe. So all the products that we put forth from our WIA team, and then the ones from outside, they just help develop that so that women have an option, or women have resources in order to find the answers that they're looking for, and to help with conversations where just like with Michelle connecting at church, people have been talking to her and asking her questions, and she knows where to go to find it. And if she doesn't know, she knows where to start so that she can have that connection. I think that the height of all of that is at our annual conference.
Yes.
We meet and hear from women in the field of apologetics. We get to interact with them. We share resources that our team has created that women who are in the field of apologetics bring with them from across the U.S. We meet women from everywhere, including other countries, that will come into the conference just for the event. And it builds this like-minded community of real fellowship with others who all desire to grow in the same way.
Yes.
And that has just been a highlight for me. I've been to every single conference that WIA has hosted, mostly online, but in 2022 had the privilege of coming in person for the first time. And it is definitely a fire lighter and a perspective changing environment.
Yeah. Just real quick, just for fun, have you had a favorite keynote topic or speaker, or something that you might find, or that our audience might find encouraging and interesting, that you'd be willing to share?
Well, I can say that I was actually just looking back recently, over the last, how have I changed in the last year? How have I changed in the last 5 years? That kind of thing. And I can see where God has brought me through different seasons where I was either struggling or questioning or trying to discover answers for particular topics, and how that has changed through the years. And there has always been something at the WIA conference that has helped feed that search for whatever it is. Even topics where it's apologetics, but there's something theological under the surface that has helped me develop that myself. I am a student by nature, you can see, and I just start taking a deep dive into whatever that topic is that has really been concerning or for myself, and somehow there's always something at the conference that has addressed it, even if only in a partial session. There's still something there that has helped contribute to even just giving me a further resource to be able to learn it for myself.
Yeah, I was going to say that every time I hear a really good apologetics presentation, that usually gives me a thread to pull. And
Yes.
then, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and then you go home and you're like reading all the books and all the blogs about this thing. And
Right.
it really is amazing kind of where it takes you.
That's right.
Yeah. So how about this last conference? Was there anything in particular this summer that was a favorite experience of yours?
Well, I have the unique experience, other than, the majority of participants are not volunteering with us. And so it's a little bit different when you're behind the scenes and you're kind of making things happen, or helping to make things happen. And so, like I had said before, I've attended all of the conferences, except in 2022 was able to attend in person for the first time, but even then as a volunteer. So that makes my perspective a little bit different. But after that conference in 2022, I knew that I wanted to help make the conferences happen, to help make it work. So I originally was with our education department, but then kind of snuck my way into the events department. And now that's where I am primarily. I will say also that in planning, helping with the planning for 2023, I was still fairly new to the events department at the time, and they needed someone to kind of step up and help with some specific things. And in my mind, I was thinking, I am happy to fill this gap for now and to help how I can. But then something happened. Something kind of came alive in me, and I could see how God had given me experiences and understanding before volunteering with WIA that kind of culminated to how I was taking part now as a volunteer. So there was this excitement and this passion that kind of awakened in me, and it made me want to pursue more for making the conference a success. And so it was like this switch that kind of flipped. And so even though I was a complete ball of nerves, actually being a part of things for really making things happen for the first time, complete ball of nerves. And others from the events department will probably say that I was a mess a little bit, but let me tell you, I was the most engaged I've ever been serving in ministry, working from that perspective. And what I noticed is how when people come together in that kind of community, there's an excitement that builds, like I'd said before, like this fire that's being lit. And you can see that in conversations that happen at the conference. When I attended as a participant virtually, it's just not the same. Like there's not the same kind of interaction that can happen. It builds the kind of community where you feel like these are your people. This is your tribe. These are the people that you will have lasting relationships no matter where you live. Michelle, the person you interviewed earlier, her and I are we're very good friends, and we live miles and miles apart. So it's something that happens when you come together. And my experience with the planning aspect and then witnessing this beautiful community is probably one of my favorite memories working with WIA as well. Just seeing all of this come together and seeing the impact that it's having on the people.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is. I remember after last year's conference in the summer, I remember thinking, golly, I didn't even know what I was missing being a part of, from the inside out, because everybody here, I know we've said it before, but everybody is so great. Everybody has such a deep commitment to the Lord, and it shows in their attitude and the way they work and what they do. And everybody's willing to pitch in and help. And everybody's just so excited about the possibility of helping other women turn the light on. And that's it just has its own energy, that I really haven't seen duplicated elsewhere in other events and other ministries. So anyhow, well, Nikki, thank you so much for coming. It's always so much fun to talk to you. So I'm glad you came today.
Well, before I go,
Yeah, go
is it okay if I make an announcement to everyone?
Well, since you're here, you might as well.
Well, I am really excited to announce the 2024 WIA conference. It'll be held at the Glade Church just outside of Nashville, Tennessee in Mount Juliet on September 13th and 14th. So save the date, mark your calendar now, because it won't be long before we'll announce the opening of registration on social media. So keep your ears open. We are super excited to announce the conference to you today.
Yes. Thank you so much for that announcement. That's so exciting. I love the conferences. So this is going to be terrific. So I hope that you all out there, if you are watching, just pop in the chat really quick. And if you would be interested in joining women from all across the country at our 2024 Women in Apologetics Conference as we gather to confirm our reasons for hope. We live in a culture that is increasingly hostile toward Christianity. Our culture elevates feelings over truth. It has redefined the meaning of love and placed its hope in the things of this world. So we will learn from expert speakers and teachers who will equip us to know and articulate the reasons why our hope should be found in Christ and how to share and defend that hope with gentleness, love, and respect. So I hope you guys come. The WIA conferences really are kind of a very unique, one-of-a-kind kind of thing. So I hope that you'll come. I hope that you'll consider it because it really is such a blessing to learn. And the speakers are so good and the energy is just wonderful. It's kind of unmatched from anywhere else. And so anyhow, I just want to remind you guys that you can give today in lots of different ways. And when you give, not only do you help our ministry grow, but you become part of our Apologetics collective. So I want to remind you that you can give through the National Christian Foundation, either one-time or recurrent or a complex gift. You can give with PayPal. Even if you don't have an account, you can still give one time. And with an account, you can give monthly. You can also give through Facebook. We have a donate button on our Facebook page. You can give one time or recurrent, and that allows you to kind of come into our nest as an Apologetics collective member, where we're going to be working with you and really communicating with you meaningfully and personally, because when you commit to our ministry, we want to commit to helping you and providing you the resources that you just can't necessarily find anywhere else. So it looks like we have some updates. We've gotten a little bit of giving just in this broadcast. So thank you very much. We welcome you to our group. This is a really wonderful group to belong to, really sweet and tender hearts and sharp minds. And you are going to be blessed by these women for being a part of this group. So now we're at the spot where we can give our third giveaway. Remember, it is just simply access to our replays of our conferences in the past. You'll be able to go take a look in the shop at all the different conferences and all the different topics and speakers involved with each one. You'll be able to pick the one you want. Our moderators will get with you and give you the email address so you can let us know which one you'd like. And so our third giveaway winner for access to our conference replays is Kathy McNeil or McNeff? Kathy McNeff from Facebook. Kathy, if you will just pop into the chat and let our moderators find you and help you get the links that you need so you can make that choice for yourself. Congratulations, you're the giveaway winner for another set of conference replays that you'll have access to. You are going to love those conference replays because those speakers are really just out of this world. I've been blessed every time I've gone, every time I've listened, even the year that we had to do it online because of COVID. Really, the speakers are so good and so refreshing and so different from what we normally hear at a women's conference that you're going to love that. So, okay, our last interview comes from our Spanish department. Did you know we have a Spanish department? Well, we do. And so we're going to be joined today with Nicole Weiner of our Spanish department. Hi, Nicole.
Hi. Hi, Lori. How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm good too. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This is such a fun day being our 6th anniversary. So tell us, since we've been around for 6 years, how long have you been around? How long have you been serving with WIA? And what made you want to serve? And what do you enjoy about serving with WIA?
Well, I joined WIA in 2020. I joined because studying apologetics kind of changed my life, and I wanted to help the Spanish community understand the need for apologetics. I think sometimes, especially as women and as mothers, we think it's kind of not important to study apologetics, but as someone once said, we are the best apologetics and our kids need us. So for me, it was kind of that sense that there is a whole community that probably doesn't get as much materials or doesn't see the need to study apologetics, and being a part of that was what motivated me to kind of join the WIA team.
And how long did you
you
say you'd been with us? 2 years?
Since 2020.
Since 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You said that apologetics changed your life. Can you just elaborate a little on that? How did apologetics do that for you?
Well, in my case, my husband a couple of years ago, he kind of went through like a faith crisis, and I realized how ill-equipped I was to kind of help him and answer some of his questions. And I started kind of contemplating what would happen if those were my kids that were asking me those questions and how I would respond to them. So I kind of took a deep dive into apologetics and realized the need that it was and how bad I needed it in my life. So I came across some of the Women in Apologetics conference that I found online, and that's how I connected with WIA. And one day I saw somebody published like the need for Spanish translators, and I'm like, well, that I can do. So I kind of joined out of that need, and really happy to be part of the team that translate most of its posts, its articles, so people in the Spanish community can read it.
Sure. So you are getting then really kind of a broad education on apologetics. If you are translating all of our apologetics content, our social media content and such into Spanish, you're getting an opportunity to really learn a lot and a wide variety of topics.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways on serving WIA. You kind of serve to help others, but in the end, you're the one that's being kind of mostly blessed by the opportunity to help equip others. So that is amazing.
Have you had a favorite? Has there been a favorite experience, or what is it that you enjoy most about serving with WIA so far?
Well, like everybody has said before, it's kind of the community, the fact that we can get to know more, get more information, and learn more about questions that we might have that others can help us answer it. That's amazing. One of my favorite experiences of WIA has been attending the conference, not this year, last year. Since I live abroad, I don't live in the United States. Sometimes traveling is not that easy.
Sure.
So last year I got a chance to actually go to the conference in person, and it was amazing. So that's for me my favorite WIA experience.
I'm so glad. That's so much fun. Last year's conference was just special. I'm not sure exactly what made it so special, but it was really, really great, because I've been to them in the past too. But there was something really, I don't know, I loved last year's conference. Probably it might have been just because it was my first year to actually be involved from a volunteer's perspective. And I kind of got to see what all was going on, and I got to see how much these women love the Lord and love each other, and the friendships that everyone has developed. I mean, I don't know, maybe that was it, but I agree. I think last year's conference was just.
Well, for me, something weird happens, and it's that sometimes you talk about apologetics to other people, and they're like, what are you talking about? Okay. And they kind of brush you off. But when you go to the conferences, everybody speaks your language. It's like a tribe. I think it was Nikki that said it. You feel like you're in your waters. You can talk about the topics and the subjects, and everybody understands what you're saying. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun. Is there a favorite? Do you have a favorite like apologetics topic or an apologetics book or something? Do you find yourself recommending a specific blog or book or something to other people?
I'm a Mama Bear Apologetics fan. For me, studying apologetics in the cultural aspect, and also being able to equip parents, for them to equip their kids in the cultural moment, for me, that has been something that has stuck with me of all the things that I have studied on apologetics. So that's kind of something that it pushes me towards that, because I have kids that need me, and I need to equip myself to be able to equip them. So
yes, Yes. And so would you be willing to say to the people who are listening and watching that being a volunteer is not only is it a blessing to the ministry, but it's a blessing to the volunteer?
It is. You have the opportunity to learn more, to grow more, to get questions that you have answered. You have the opportunity to connect with like-minded women, and also women that know certain specific topics that can help you with. Also the constant reading, and the everybody has said it, the book list. My book list is like really long. I think my lifetime I won't be able to read all those books in my lifetime. But it's amazing, because definitely you can learn to have reasons to give a defense for what you believe.
Yeah.
And that helps you grow as a Christian. It gives you more of a biblical worldview.
Yes.
And then you can also help others better in that sense. So for me, it's been a blessing everywhere.
Yes, I think that that's one of the sort of underrated, unspoken blessings of studying apologetics in general, but certainly studying it with a group of women, like-minded women with similar concerns. I think people don't understand how much apologetics really does help you grow in your faith in the Lord, and you grow your trust and your respect and your admiration for the Lord and your loyalty and all of that, because it's just so grounding to be able to know that this is truth and here's why it's truth.
Yeah, no, it's like that. Sometimes I remember, because a long time ago I had a conversation with someone that was asking me, kind of was pushing me. That person was an atheist, and in the end it was like, well, that's how I feel, that's what I believe, but I didn't have answers to give them. So being able to have answers that you can give them, being able to defend my faith with evidence and logic and reason, it's really helped it's transformed my life, actually.
Yeah, I agree. It has mine too. Well, Nicole, thank you first of all for the work that you do for WIA and the women who are blessed directly from being able to read all of that content in their native tongue. Thank you for that, and thank you for being a part of WIA in general. And thank you for being here today, because you were a blessing just to listen to. Thank you so much for being willing to be a part of our celebration today.
Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. Okay, so surely by now, if you're watching and having listening to all the volunteers that have been with us in all their various departments, there are a couple things you can't really miss. And number one is that WIA does really unique work. This is not the kind of resources and tools and education that you can get just anywhere on any Sunday school class. We really try hard to drill down to the basics of apologetics and give you what you need to make sure that your family members understand that their faith is true, to give you the confidence and the courage to speak to people in your community who don't know the Lord, and to give you also the courage and the ability to speak courageously and compassionately and compellingly, because we believe that as we learn apologetics, as we learn the truth, as we learn to connect the dots and articulate, as some of our people have said, as we learn that, it allows us to have those conversations a whole lot more relaxed and naturally. And so that helps us just become better communicators of the truth and ambassadors of Christ's kingdom. So we would love for you, not only do we really appreciate and can we really put to good use financial resources, monthly donorships, or one-time gifts to our ministry, but we could really use your hands and feet. We have all sorts of needs right now, volunteer needs, that you could help us with. For instance, you might be able to give to the ministry by being a graphic design assistant. That would be working with our graphic designer. You'll help us to be consistent with our message and our marketing all across our social media platforms and events. We also need a social media content creator. So if you enjoy researching, writing, editing social media posts for greater awareness and impact, then come join our team as a social media content creator. Also, we need video editors and producers. We could use your help in creating video content from start to finish, and even a communications coordinator. We need your help in all things related to communications strategies. So you'll work with our communications department in press releases and blog posts and newsletters and all kinds of other communications. And we also could really use a live stream producer. So if you have experience with video equipment and production and bandwidth requirements for live streams, we need you too. So if you have any experience in these areas and that you'd be willing to lend your sisters a hand, please drop your name in the chat now. And our moderators will help you find the link to our volunteer job descriptions and the applications so you can begin reading over those and filling those out, and come join the WIA tribe. Be a part of this community. As you have heard all the other volunteers say, and myself included, this is a really unique and wonderful group of women, all like-minded and very committed to growing our walks with God individually and being able to be ambassadors for the kingdom through speaking the truth of the Christian worldview with grace and with a little bit of grit. So come join our team and be part of us. You can visit our website at any time and click the menu button at the top for the volunteer link, or can just scroll down the home page to the image that says Join Our WIA Tribe, and you can find it there. I love Women in Apologetics, and I want you to love it too, both as a consumer because of the good content that we create, the network of resources and people that we can help one another connect to so that we're all growing. So in order to do what we love to do, we rely on our financial gifts to our organization, which puts the fuel in our tank to keep the engine running. But like I said, if you can't contribute financially right now, you can still be a part of what we're doing here by joining our team as a volunteer, and we would love to have you. So go ahead and put your name in the chat, or tell us what you found most interesting in today's live stream. Tell us which interviewee you liked hearing from. Tell us what you are interested in most about being a part of in WIA, part of learning maybe, what you're most interested in learning. Let us know what you're thinking, because we would love to have you. We love WIA and we want you to be a part of our group. And we're so glad that you're here today, because if you missed it in the very beginning, we've been here for 6 years, helping all sorts of women connect the dots and understand why the things that they believe are true, so that we don't just know what we believe, but why we believe it, and the help. And it's really amazing to hear the conversations around the table about conversations that our WIA tribe has had with other people, their successes, their failures, what they've learned, how they've grown. It's a really wonderful community, and we want you to be a part of it. And so we're going to do one more giveaway related to our conference replays. And so thank you so much for joining us today. And our last giveaway winner, if you'll pop your name in the chat so our moderators can find you, just pick your head up and say hello, is Rachel Broadbent of YouTube. Rachel, congratulations. You've won access to a set of replays, and you get to pick which set of conference replays you'd like. So just touch base with our moderators in the chat, and they'll get you hooked up with a link to our shop so you can take a look around, and an email address to request your selection of conference replays. So thank you so much for being here today. We love you guys. We want you to come be a part of our WIA tribe in any way that works for you. We love the Lord, we love you, and we want to link elbows and learn to love the Lord with all of our minds. And to do that, we want to help encourage you, equip you, and educate you so that you can stand and speak confidently, courageously, and compellingly in a world that is increasingly godless, in a world that is increasingly secular, so that you can shine the light of the truth of Christ to your family, your friends, and your community. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for our 6th anniversary celebration. And we look forward to seeing you in next month's Voices of WIA episode. We'll pick up with those, and eventually at our 2024 conference. So go check out that link. Look at the descriptions. Please join us at our conference. It really is a wonderful, unique experience, and you will be blessed by attending it. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Love you guys. Happy birthday or happy anniversary to WIA.